Anita? As mayor, I'll call this meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Carter. Parker, absent. Schneider.
Here.
Sofa.
Here.
Stoops.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Zukas.
Here,
Take it a motion.
make a motion to excuse Jason Parker.
Support.
Parker, absent. Schneider.
Yes.
Sofa.
Here.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zukas.
Yes.
Martyr.
Yes.
Now agenda items from the sidelines, I have nothing. Yes, sir?
Gary Jeffrey, 600 Static Road. What's the status on Boardman? If it gets any later over there, they're gonna be working on it next year.
It's scheduled for next year.
It's scheduled, well, it's only scheduled, just to clarify, it's the grant money, and of course, we gotta come up with 20% of it, but it's scheduled for next year. Probably be quoting on that in early spring or late winter, and hopefully the money available, that we have available, we'll do it we'll start at the east and come up to Cole Street. That's all the money's available at this point.
We're looking at next year,
Yes.
hopefully, if you can
Well,
find the money.
yes.
Well,
As you know, this was all okay back in 2013, and then they run out of money and they dropped it, and then we got it activated back in 2015. But the grant back then, including what we came up with, was $520,000. I don't have the figures in front of me, but I think it was about $360,000 we have, so we had to cut it back. But it will come
500,000 from the state?
no, it was 400, and I believe 405,000 from the state, and I think was 115 or something from
Locally,
Yeah, locally, yeah.
that you have to
And
come
plus
up with.
engineering, of course. And engineering is $60,000, $70,000 just for the engineering. So it's an expensive proposition, but I was at a meeting last month, and right now it's still scheduled for next year.
What part of Boardman is that?
It's from east city limits to Cole Street.
So basically up the hill from the fortress.
The problems with the grant or with St. Clair County too.
The grant comes from MDOT and through St. Clair County, and then we have to come up with 20% of that grant, plus we have to do the engineering as well. So back in 2013, total was $520,000, as already mentioned. We hoped then it would have went right to M19, but since the grant was cut back and we don't have the resources internally, then hopefully we can get it done till Cole Street.
All right, thank you. City Administration, Chief?
The fire department's received word that we're going to be getting another Edbridge vehicle. About 5 or 6 years ago, we were donated one from them. We've been working on towards getting another one, and we got word here last week that we're going to be receiving another donated vehicle from them.
That's what the towing bill was for?
No, that was for our training.
Oh, okay, all right. I wasn't
Not
sure.
yet. We won't get it till the end of the month.
Oh, all right.
That's it.
Do you know what you're getting?
We don't know really till we get there.
David?
Town by the River went really well this year. I'd like to thank all the sponsors that helped me out with it. I'm working on bands for next year. I already have 2 folk bands and 1 bluegrass band set up for next year. I'm planning things for Wednesday night for the kids to do in town. Jam night's going well. We had 4 people that left us to start a band, so that was a plus. And we're working on details for father-daughter dance, and we're trying to come up with a theme this year. We usually do a theme. Last year was Winter Wonderland. We don't know what we're gonna do this year, but we're working on that too. So that's all I have.
Thanks. Tammy, did you speak to Jeff?
To
Jeff White? No, I'm sorry. Who's the Is it Richmond EMS?
No, it's American Fireworks.
Oh. Next time you're gonna,
He's not here, so we're gonna postpone it till the next city
Okay.
council meeting.
thank you.
Mhm.
Adoption or amendment of the agenda? Can I get a motion?
I'll
Make a
make a
motion.
motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Support.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Parker absent.
Hopefully you've all had a chance to look over the meeting minutes of August the 15th. Was there any questions? If not, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt the minutes. Support.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Parker absent, Schneider.
Yes. Presentation and approval of August disbursements report of $155,381.28 and electronic wire transfers of $7,456.19. Can I get a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make a motion to make the disbursements report, or the August disbursements of $155,381.28, and electronic wire transfers of $7,456.19. Support.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Parker absent, Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Well, luckily tonight we have Mr. Paul Bailey from SB&W, our auditors. Paul, if you'd like to use the podium or
Okay.
wherever you want to stand.
Okay, I'll just try to stay out of everybody's way. I think everybody got a copy of your audit report in the maroon cover. As you know, at this time of year, we come out and pay you a little visit. Every year you contract, or you have for the last few years, contract with our firm to do your annual financial audit. I sent a team out here of for about a week, audit your numbers, we pull it all together, come out and meet with management, go over it pretty much page by page and talk about it in a lot of detail, and then we finalize the report and then bring it to you for your final approval. Everything went very well during your audit. Again, you're in a good financial condition. We'll go through some numbers tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to stop me as I'm going along. If you turn into, it says page 1 on the bottom, or it's on Stewart, Gervais, and Whipple's letterhead on the top, in kind of blue lettering. It says independent auditor report in bold. This is technically the only portion of the report that belongs to our firm, Stewart, Gervais, and Whipple. And it's where we give an opinion on whether your financial statements are presented in accordance with general accepted accounting principles. You have what they call an unmodified or clean opinion. That's the best type of an opinion any governmental unit or commercial entity can receive. And basically what it means is all the data in here is presented in accordance with general accepted accounting principles. If we can turn over to, there's quite a bit of other information. I'm just going to hit the high points. If we turn over to page 10, this is what's called your balance sheet or a snapshot of the city as of June 30th, 2017. You'll see your first column is your general fund. It lists your assets, your liabilities there, and what they call your fund balance. As of June 30th, 2017, you had a total fund balance as of June 30th of $659,228. Of that, about $62,672 was restricted as for the salvage fees for the police operation, with the remaining what they call unassigned of just under $600,000, $596,000. Next to it, you can see the major street there. The fund balance was $283,653. And that fund balance is the amount of money that carries into the next year. Your local street was $171,618. Your fire equipment replacement had $257,460 in the replacement fund. In the other column there, we'll break it down when we get in the back a little bit more. But again, there was a total in those other funds of $110,787. If you turn over to page 13 and 14, your general, we'll go back to your general fund a little bit, the first column. This is the operating statement. It shows the revenues, expenditures that you take in during the year. You'll see total revenues there of $754,736. You spent $756,866. And then you have what they call other financing sources and uses, which is primarily transfers to and from other funds of a negative $7,094. So for the year ended June 30th, 2017, you had expenditures over revenues of $9,224. So pretty much a break-even year. Your budget had anticipated that you would actually have expenditures over revenues of $30,817, so you were actually $20,000 better than your final approved budget. You'll see the major street there next to it, they were to the positive towards the bottom, $29,504. Your local street was to the positive, $22,298. Again, your equipment replacement added $23,180 to their fund balance there on their numbers. Over on page 16, you also have what they call a proprietary fund, or a fund that operates similar to a business. It's your water and sewer fund. And basically, page 16 just lists the assets and liabilities of the water and sewer operations. If you look at the bottom, this is net position. This is the equity of your water and sewer fund. And you can see it says $1,706,357. That's the value of all your assets minus all your liabilities, but a lot of it's tied up into, water and sewer lines, your water tower, and you try to pull that out. When you pull that out and you pull some money restricted for debt out, that really left $324,719 in your water fund. So basically, $325,000 in your water fund is available for operating purposes. Page 17 is the operating statement for the water and sewer fund. You can see in total, you took in $290,464. The expenditures there, you can see listed by wages, supplies, and so forth. Total expenses of $304,000. There was a little bit of interest earned of $472. So for the year ended June 30, 2017, your water and sewer fund actually had what they call a net loss of $13,513. But that included depreciation, which is a paper number of $45,000. So if you added that back, you were actually about $32,000 to the positive depreciation. The other thing I said we would touch on was there's a column that says the other column, and if you turn way back to page 36 and 37, that other column is made up of 5 funds. First of all, your municipal street fund had $92,605 in it as of June 30th. You see your police equipment replacement fund had $12,564. Your DPW equipment replacement, $24. Your clerk and treasurer equipment replacement, $3,312. And library equipment replacement, $2,282. That's a very, very quick synopsis of your financial report. There's a lot more detail in this report. Again, overall, I think you're in good financial condition. Any questions on the numbers?
Paul, I just like to explain on the special revenue fund, just so I clarify that, that's actually the 2 mills that we collect for the local or major streets.
Yes.
That's your 2 mills that we put out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So just to clarify what that is.
Right. And normally what those type of funds do is accumulate dollars and then do a project. As you know, street projects cost a lot of money. You just had a discussion on the Boardman project. You got to accumulate dollars so that then you have enough to do a project, and that's why it's accumulating some dollars for the last couple of years until you have enough dollars to actually do a project. There's also a couple letters attached, I believe, to your report. The first one is that I'd like to kind of talk about. Just says independent auditor's report on internal control. One of the things we do when we come out and do your audit, not only do we audit the numbers, but we take a look at the accounting processes, how bills get processed, how cash receipts come in the door, and if we become aware of any weaknesses in your system, we're required to report it to the city council. We're really happy to report that there isn't anything that's significant that you can do anything about. There's one item on this letter that's been there for about the last 5 or 6 years, and it's fairly similar to about 95% of our clients of our size. And basically what happens is the accounting profession says every entity should have somebody on staff that can draft their own financial statement. Well, clients that we deal with rely on our firm to help them do that because it isn't cost justified to have somebody on staff, and there's nothing you really can do about it, and it would be cost beneficial to do it if we have to note that. Other than that, there was no areas that we noted there was any weaknesses. The second letter is an audit communication letter. CPA firms are not required to come to a meeting like this. We appreciate the opportunity to come and go through the numbers and answer any questions. But this letter just kind of talks about the process. I kind of started out explaining the process, how we come out, spend a week, and we come back and meet with your management, and the mayor, and go through this page by page. And if there's any areas of where there are problems or required to report in this letter is pretty well boilerplate. There's nothing really in it that is earth-shattering. I'm happy to report this year we did not have any comments whatsoever. Usually there's a couple of comments on the back of this letter. This year we did not have any suggestions.
Anybody have any questions? Well, Paul, I'd like to thank you and Heather and your team. You guys did a great job. This is the 4th year we've been doing it with you guys?
I don't know how many years, it's at least 4, so it's long.
And,
I think it's all right.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I would say more like 7 or 8.
Okay, I was very time. It was 6 or 7 anyway, yes.
Yeah, they didn't be on that. I know Plant Moran did for years and years, and then we took over. It might be 9 or 10 years ago. I can't remember now. They do it a long time.
well, I know Ron and Larry certainly make the process easier for me, and I'm sure it helps you and your team, so thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Communications? You have none, right?
This here, this one. I thought you had this
Oh, about the,
That's 51 money. Is this
This is different.
This is different?
Yeah.
Okay.
so we'll just go right to unfinished business. We have none. New business. Stuart Van Whipple, understanding of services of Act 51 audit. You want to explain it, Don?
It was a new audit they had to do on the Act 51 money. And they've already done it because our meeting came after they did it, but we still have to sign this.
Yeah, we
It's
have
just agreeing to their services to do it.
an extra audit that the state has mandated for us to do for our road money,
And this is the first year we've had to do this, by the way.
and not the last.
It won't be the last, no, from now on.
Though Paul assures me it'll be cheaper next year.
Didn't we approve the money last?
Yeah, we did.
We approved the money. This is just,
This is how they're going to do it, basically. We have to do this on our regular audit too.
yes, please.
I'll make a motion to sign, mayor sign the letter. SBW, on
Support.
Wilson,
Yes.
Zukas,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Parker absent, Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
So it's that time of year we have bank renewals with our CDs from Comerica. Larry, do you want to fill us in?
Yeah, we have 2 CDs out, and we kind of alternate them back and forth, so that each comes due basically with 6 months. They're a year CD, but they come due within 6 months, so we alternate back and forth. The interest rate is significantly lower than it used to be. We used to collect somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000 a year in interest. This one here is about $959, and the other one probably the same. So it's significantly less money, but it's better than nothing. So the CD's coming up for renewal. Let's see, maturity date is 9/11/17. So we need to okay that. So I think we should okay these CDs. So, okay, then I'll make a motion, and we renew the.
It doesn't give a percentage rate for
Pardon?
interest rate? It doesn't give an interest rate?
Well, the interest rate, I imagine is about, I don't know, 0.5%, 3/4%,
Yeah,
probably something in that
less than
area. Very low.
It goes up and down too, right?
Oh.
Yeah, it
A little bit,
fluctuates,
a small amount, yeah.
but it's only a small amount. It's not really significant. So anyway, I make a motion we approve the CD renewal with Coal America Bank for 9/11/2017.
Support.
Zukas,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Parker absent, Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Okay, from the mayor. So I gave you guys a little handout from Landscape and Grading Company. So this is the same people who did the work over at the police department with the sidewalks. They're in town doing the cleanup after the gas line updates. And I actually tried to get another quote, and I was not able to get anything back. I think I may have burned some bridges with some people because I keep getting quotes from them, and I always end up doing it with these people. But the price difference is so significant that I would think it'd be foolish not to tackle this. So let me just explain what the idea is. So basically the library board would like to do this, and it's definitely needs to be done. I'm sure everybody's seen what's going on with the approaches and the sidewalk by the parking lot over at the library. So we would be putting new aprons on the driveway, 35 feet of 6-inch sidewalk, which is basically where the cars drive in and out of the parking lot over there. 32 feet of 4-inch sidewalk, which would take you from the door to the end of the parking lot. The new concrete approach, which is basically between the sidewalk and the building in front of the doors. And the section between the sidewalk and the street would be the same width as the approach going up to the doors. The total is $6,240, which seems like a lot of money, but in my experience, the prices that we get from this company is significantly lower.
For the amount of concrete that they're moving and replacing, that's not bad.
And it's actually cheaper than if we did asphalt, because when they start doing layers of asphalt, it ends up being more labor intensive because they have to keep coming back and doing the layers at a time. This is actually a little bit cheaper than doing the whole thing in asphalt, which I would recommend anyways. So part of the money will come from our street fund for the approaches and the sidewalks of the parking lot. Part of the money will come from our rainy day fund. Part of the money is going to come from a donation. I'm not exactly sure how much it's going to be, but I think it's going to be significant. You'll find out about that probably in the next couple weeks. And then, and that's pretty much about it. So was there one other there?
Equipment replacement.
Oh, and there's
2,200, I think, or something.
and there's $2,200 in the library's
Library.
equipment and replacement fund,
Yeah.
something like that. Or maybe just a little bit less. We just
Yeah.
fixed the roof over there. So I know this is kind of last minute, but they are here and they're available, and I
It'll
will.
be done soon. It can be
Yes.
done soon.
And I've had Bart call different people trying to get a quote too. We've been trying to get another quote for a couple of weeks, and we're unable to get one. And the police department over here, we did get a quote when we did all that work over there. This company was significantly lower. I don't know how much lower, but it was significant. And so, and I guess that all the contractors are busy, so they're very hard to get another quote. So I agree with that. I think we should. There's very little that's going to come out of the general fund. I think when we figured it out, that would be less than $1,500, I believe, in that area.
And I think it's money well spent.
Yeah, and if you look, if anyone has been over there, that sidewalk along there is in terrible shape.
The approaches are even worse, so, I
Yeah,
mean,
so-
it's the one's just like a big giant pothole.
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
Money well spent to avoid a lawsuit.
so.
I agree.
You want a motion?
I would love a motion, Rick.
I'll make a motion then that we repair the sidewalks and approaches at the library in the amount of $6,240 for D&E landscaping and grading.
Support.
Marver,
Yes.
Parker absent, Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Golson,
Yes.
Zupas.
Yes.
And that's all I have. Kurt?
Nothing for me.
Larry?
Yeah, I just have one thing. On the September the 2nd, on Friday, we had a meeting with our architect on the handicap pumps, which is over at the Library Youth Center. The mayor and Bart and myself had a meeting with the architect on that. This was a preliminary meeting for the bid package that has to go to the associate planner, and he will okay it. Once he okays it, then we can put it out for competitive bid. I did get a response today from the architect, and apparently he's okayed it, so it will go out. Just tentative dates, and I haven't made up a memo to you guys yet because I didn't do it, but the advertising for bid will be probably around September 12th. We'll open the bids probably around September 26th. And then we'll bring it back to council approval October 3rd. Tentatively or projected the completing date on that would be November the 14th. So these are tentative dates, but hopefully we'll be there. And the grant money of $15,000 has to be spent by year end or we lose it. So I think November 14th, that's the date we're shooting to complete the project. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Robbie? Scott?
Just from, we had a police committee meeting just before the council meeting. Just when we got here, we were given a resignation letter from our police chief that he was willing to continue on until we can find out which direction we're gonna go and where we're gonna move on to. And we need to talk to him to see how we're gonna settle with where he's living now and how this is all gonna work out. So until we can get another meeting together, and to the next council meeting, we'll be moving ahead, but we'll just be working on that.
Thank you. Jason? I have nothing. Motion to adjourn. Thank you.